Right, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rachak Kodash. Double honors to the apostles of Great Millstone, and peace and blessings to the elect. Um, Real quick, okay, today, there's been notifications left and right about this, the Fed's cutting the interest rate for the first time, all right, since the 2008 crisis. All right, and now you have a lot of people doing videos, okay, and like people like you have like W7 or economists, who do videos, all right, basically talking about how this is a sign or this is the beginning of an economic collapse, all right, which it should ring a bell, all right, because if the last time they cut rates like this, all right, was the 2008 crisis, then and with the direction in which the economy is headed, all right, it's pointing towards another economic crisis. All right. However, the problem is with this one, it's gonna be bad. That's why they haven't allowed it to collapse fully yet, because when this economy goes down, when it crashes this time, it's not coming back up. It's not gonna be like 2008 when we're in 2019 now and we still have an economy that's running. No, once this economy collapses, that's it. All right, that's why this is gonna be the biggest crash. All right, the biggest economic crash. All right, known to mankind, because it's gonna not only be the American economy, but it's gonna be the global economy. Okay, now let's it says the Federal Reserve cut interest rates for the first time since 2008 as it tried to keep the economic expansion from petering out. Now, you see, they for the longest they've been trying to suppress, all right, and metaphorically glue this economy together to keep it afloat. But it's getting to the point where they see that, look, man, no matter how much glue you put, all right, you can't fix that broken pot, man. All right, so it says Washington, the Federal Reserve cut interest rates for the first time in more than a decade on Wednesday, as it attempted to guard the record-long economic expansion against mounting global risks. Okay, because you have a lot of different factors that are affecting the so-called health of the economy. All right, this whole ongoing trade war with China. All right, the tensions with Iran, and now you're starting to have tensions with the U.S. and its so-called allies. All right, Europe, Germany, which Germany just came out and said that they're not going to take part in the whole Straits of Hormuz militarization thing. All right. So it says the widely expected quarter point move, the Fed's first since it cut rates to near zero in 2008, is meant to protect the economy against the potentially harmful effects of a growth slowdown in China and Europe and uncertainty from President Trump's trade war. In light of the implications of global developments for the economic outlook, as well as muted inflation pressures, the committee decided to lower the target range for the federal funds rate, according to the Federal Open Market Committee's policy statement. Now, they came out and said that the Dow dropped 300 points because the Fed said this was going to be a one-time thing. All right, but why are they lowering rates? Okay, now it may seem like, oh well, why is that a bad thing if they're lowering interest rates? It's a bad thing because the way they do it is that when they increase interest rates, all right, it's basically to quote unquote balance the economy. All right, so when they increase interest rates, all right, then that's basically to keep things at a steady pace, all right, or to slow things down if need be. But when they lower interest rates, that means that things are moving too slow in the economy and they're trying to bring it back up to pace, all right, or give it that little assistance or that boost so it can keep on moving, all right. Because what's happening is that the economy is slowing down, all right, and it's coming to a halt, okay, which is not it's not good for them, because once it hits that, it's gonna start going in reverse, all right. And now instead of making gains, all right, and progress, now you're losing gains, all right. It says, but the Fed did not indicate that this was the beginning of a rate cutting campaign, suggesting instead that the cut was a minor adjustment intended to help the economy weather any challenges from slowing global growth and Mr. Trump's trade fights. But what happens when things start getting worse? Well, see that what happens then? Are they going to keep lowering it? It says, while Jerome H. Powell, the Fed chair, left the door open to additional rate moves if the economy showed signs of sputtering, he did not indicate the central bank was poised to engage in the sort of deep cutting cycle that the Fed has done in the past to avert or offset recessions. All right. So now, if the central bank decides, nah, we're not gonna do this anymore, what's gonna happen? Look, man, we've been saying this and saying it and saying it, but the direction in which this economy is going is down. All right, and everybody knows that, man. We're coming into the fourth quarter too, which is when the economy, oh, this is where they depend a lot on. Okay, you have Halloween, Christmas, Thanksgiving, all these different New Year's. You have all these different so-called holidays coming up, Black Friday. All these different things where they expect a lot of consumers to buy and get that money flowing. Okay, but like we saw last year, things weren't going as good, and the economy wasn't doing too good. Okay, so being in the fourth quarter is very risky, all right, for the economy, especially now with all the turmoil that's happening throughout the year, all right, with the even including the whole the farming issue, all right, the farmers not being able to plant their crops, that's also going to take a toll on the economy. So now imagine all these things you have coming crashing down together at once. What do you think that's going to do? Okay. So it says, it's not the beginning of a long series of rate cuts. I didn't say it's just one. Mr. Powell said at a news conference following the Fed's two-day policy meeting. What we're seeing is that it's appropriate to adjust policy for to a somewhat more accommodative stance over time, and that's how we're looking at it. Which they know, all right. They know that this economy isn't gonna last. All right, they know this economy isn't gonna last. So they now their job really is damage control, man. These people are not to come and tell you the truth as to what's going on. Just like when they instilled the Federal Reserve in the U.S., they lied to Congress about it. They didn't tell them the truth as to what it really was. Now Congress is stuck in it because Congress is now a part of the problem. So they're not gonna come out and tell you, hey, this is really what the Federal Reserve is. It's a privately owned, bank, and this is really what they're doing. No, all right. So these people, they know what's really, well, the elites of them know what's going on, and they're not gonna come and tell you that. No, they'd rather you be ignorant, okay, and be unaware of what's really going on until it hits you, okay, so they can get the maximum profit out of it, okay. That's exactly that's what they're hoping for. All right. It says here, the widely expected move from the central bank was initially greeted with a shrug in financial markets, where investors have been factoring in a rate cut for months. But the stock market turned lower after Mr. Powell began his news conference at 2:30 p.m. as investors absorbed the chair's comments as indicating the Fed was unlikely to make additional cuts anytime soon, as investors had hoped. By the end of the day, the S&P 500 was down 1.1%. It was the benchmark's index worst decline since May 31st. All right, and it's gonna get worse, man. With the whole China thing, man, it's not gonna get better. The whole trade war with China, man, is only gonna get worse. Okay, and man, we're in for a lot of things, man. Because as time moves on, things are not getting better. Things are getting worse. Okay, you have Trump that came out and basically they just put more sanctions on the Iranian foreign minister. Okay, so you tell me if things are getting better. All right, we're hey and listen, we keep stressing this economic collapse because once this economy collapses, there's nothing or there's it's gonna be a state of chaos. Okay, it's gonna be a state of chaos and a time of anarchy. All right, until they declare that martial law to so-called bring in that order. Okay, and we always bring out these precepts, but wait till they start hitting. All right, this is Jeremiah 30:7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. Okay, because it's gonna be trouble when nothing is working. All right, because you have money that causes the flow of things to move. All right, but when that stops going, man, that order is gonna cease, and there's gonna be chaos in these streets, man. All right, and you're gonna have the quote unquote strong who are gonna prey upon the weak. All right, that's how that in a state of anarchy. That's what it is, man. People right now, people are cold hearted. Okay, the scriptures tell you, man. Um, People are cold hearted, man. Where is this? Matthew 24:12. And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold. Okay, so right now you have people that that general love that people are usually had for one another. All right, willing to help each other out in a time of need. No, that's gone. Everybody's individualistic right now. Okay, so when that time comes, it's gonna be everybody fending for themselves or for their families. And when it comes down to you or your family, not a lot of people have that integrity or that virtue. You know what I mean, to to be about it, man, to sacrifice. No, you're gonna have people that are gonna be straight selfish all the way. All right, and if that means your life, guess what? They're taking it. Okay, so yeah, it's gonna be very chaotic, man. It's gonna be very chaotic. All right, but signs like this, when people see this, a lot of people don't really look into it, so they don't understand. Oh, Feds cut interest rate. Oh, okay, all right, that's cool. You know, until they get hit with it, and then they want to know what it's about. Then they want to know what all the talking was going on. You know, but the time is coming where it's gonna be too late for that. Okay, but look, man, us that are watching, all right. Um, what's that? Isaiah 62:6. Okay, we're watching because we know what's coming, so we're watching for these signs. All right, and these signs tell us what's coming next. Okay, so when that time hits, man, we already know what time it is. We're not gonna be in shock of, oh my gosh, what's going on. No, we already know what time it is. All right, and we're gonna move accordingly through the Spirit of the Most High. All right, this is Isaiah 62:6. I have set up watchmen upon thy walls, O Jerusalem, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. All right, and that refers to us today. All right, that applies to us today because spiritually we are those watchmen. All right, we watch. Hey man, you go on YouTube, man. Anything that comes out concerning prophecy, there's a video on it that we're doing. Either brothers are doing a live stream on it, or brothers have done a video on it, or brothers are about to do a video on it. Okay, those are watchmen. All right, and Jerusalem, which today really that would be the elect, because the rest of our people, they don't even care. Okay, but the scriptures say Jerusalem is a people before it's a place. All right, so it doesn't necessarily have to be the land. Okay, but we're set up as watchmen over the nation. All right, which shall never hold their peace day nor night. Okay, meaning we're not gonna stop talking. We're not gonna stop prophesying. All right, and that's what we do, man. We're constantly doing these videos. We're constantly edifying, and we're constantly prophesying. All right, ye that make mention of the Lord, keep not silence. All right, and that's exactly what we do. Okay, we keep not silence. It says what? And give him no rest till he establish and till he make Jerusalem a praise in the earth. Because the work we're doing is gonna ultimately, all right, speed things up and bring in the kingdom. All right, and establishing us as a praise in the earth. Because right now we're not looked at as a praise in the earth. All right, and this is why we're constantly pushing out these videos and constantly notifying and looking out for these prophecies, man. Okay, so that's really it right now. We're gonna keep watching and see, see what else happens, what else this leads to, man. But Lord willing, this is edifying to the elect. Stay watching and stay in the spirit. All praises to Yahweh Hashem Yahushai and Shalom.